Ready when you are.
What do you see from Dallas? What's he struggling with a little bit today?
Same thing as last weekend, rolling breaking ball. For whatever reason, direction when Grady's fallen off to, his glove side of the mound fairly often. And then, they came hungry, to win an SEC game. They've played seven of them now. And that was their first one they won. So it's never one thing, but those are the few things that stick out.
Were you happy with the intensity to start the game?
I don't think there was a severe lack of it, but I don't think it was, what it was in the eighth inning when, guys got excited, which, what comes first, the excitement or the energy or the hits first, chicken, egg, whatever the hell that saying is. But I don't think we were the mentality we were a few different nights, and in particular, a couple different Fridays.
If there is a silver lining, is it that you kind of get to see how your team responds to a loss before SEC play?
Yeah, and like every team in the country, you get down or, expectations aren't met. You get some frustration creeps in, and you got to recognize that that's not going to do you any good. So there's an adjustment that needs to be made. But to this point, no team's gone 56-0. So you got to expect that you're going to lose a game. So the team can choose to make it a positive, and now that it's behind us, move on and play better baseball because of it. But, the game just got over 10 minutes ago, so I don't think anyone's happy about losing.
What'd you see from their starter that maybe limited you guys at the plate?
You could see it, coming in, scouting report-wise, you knew there was kind of a tight cutter, slider. I think Luke's first at-bat, he struck him out on a 2-2 pitch, going back foot with that thing. That was kind of going good for him. Located his fastball, and it was kind of one of those nights where you see the wind blowing out like crazy, but at the same time there weren't a lot of runs scored because their starting pitcher did do a good job, and the at-bats overall weren't great, in particular for our lineup with only 7 hits.
What areas of the game particularly do you think you guys should need to work on before taking them all together tomorrow?
The head coach needs to go up in his office and look at some lineups and some changes. I mean, any move that was made was not the right one. The lineup wasn't the right one. You want to have hits and extra base hits so you guys have something to talk about and highlights and stuff like that. But we talk about having quality at-bats or competitive at-bats. And when you got spots in the lineup where you don't get anything out of the at-bat, it doesn't work. And then we waited too long to take our starter out, and a couple situations where you got a guy at third, maybe you want to get a punch out. We've got guys available in the pen to do that. So there could have been some things different there. So, but I hope the players do the same thing I would like to do, is look at yourself first and see what you could do better. Even if you were a bench guy, might have been able to be in the game a little bit better, like we were talking about energy, and then put that into action tomorrow before the game starts.
In a game where just a couple of small mistakes really cost you, is that a big learning lesson you can teach guys?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not playing an SEC game tomorrow, but it needs to have SEC intensity or conference intensity because anybody can beat anybody. But what I'm getting at is when conference play rolls around, and it doesn't even matter, it doesn't have to be our conference, the margin for error is very, very small. I mean, intensity level goes up, scouting reports go up. There's just a lot of things that cause those games to be very tight. So, not being in the right position in the first inning, or not communicating in the third inning, or not being ready to hit in the fifth, it could be the difference in the game.
I'm not sure what it looked like on field level. It looked like it was going to be a pretty close play on Trey's throw there. Is that one you'd like to see him hold after he makes the stab? Or
Yeah, I think everything's moving so fast. And then, too, it was just a good enough throw. Luke tried to stretch. If it's a little worse, he probably comes off the bag, tries to keep it in front. So I just don't think that was a game where you analyze this, as much as our sport lends itself to be one where you dictate or you conversate afterwards, this play, this call, that call, or whatever. That was just a game where we got outdid in every facet, if that's even the right way to say it. But a couple coaching things on down, base running, we got outdid.
I know it doesn't feel good, but when you have a streak that, you look at 15-0 last year, 13-0 this year, what's that say about the start of, what you guys can do right out of the gate?
I don't know. It's all right. I mean, my smart aleck response, if you hear the word streak, I mean, that's a bad pair of underwear to me. So it's a team that prepares as well as any in January and February, and that needs to be a staple of our program. And I think that'll spill over into wins early in the season going into conference. So that shouldn't change, and if it does, guys like Andre Lipschus and Luke Lipschus should get to the guys before I do.
A couple more for Coach.